Hey there, welcome to another episode of Life Skills with Elroy. I'm so excited because today I'm gonna talk about the important life skill of how to act on an aeroplane. Now, airplanes are pretty cool. You see, they're these they're like big cars, but they have wings and they can fly. And they're not even birds. The first time I saw an airplane, I thought it was a bird. So I laid out some bird seed, but it never came and got to me. And I was really sad. But then someone told me, "Oh, Roy, airplanes don't eat bird seed." That's silly. And they were right. They were very right. Airplanes don't eat bird seed. They have fuel. But anyways, that's beside the point. Now, here's the deal. It's fun to get to fly in an airplane. You get to go through security. You walk through, you take off your shoes, you take off your belt, and you're like, "Oh man, I hope I didn't get a bottle that's full of water or too much shampoo or something. Because if I have too much shampoo, they're gonna be like, 'Get Elroy!' And I'd be like, 'They found that shampoo! Oh no!'" So anyways, once you get through security, which is always pretty fun, unless you forget to take your belt off, and then they're like, "Elroy, your belt's still on," and you're like, "I'm so sorry." Anyways, after you get past security, it's always fun to go and maybe get a little snack or some coffee. I love some cold brew as I get on a plane. But always remember, if you're gonna fly and you drink coffee, to make sure you're hydrating with water too, because you don't want to get dehydrated and have blood clots or something like that. You don't want to do that. So make sure you're hydrating. But anyways, you get to sit and wait to get on the plane, and then when it's time, you walk in. But always remember that you want to go right to your seat. And see, sometimes when I get on the plane and people are putting their bags up above, there's always some guy who decides that he's gonna do his taxes or something in the middle of the aisle. He starts looking through a book, and then he starts going through his bag, and then he pulls out his phone and he starts sending all his friends happy birthday wishes. And I'm like, "Come on, man, I'm waiting to get in my seat." And then he's like, "Well, I gotta send these out." I'm like, "Well, why can't you send them out sitting?" And anyways, always be mindful that on an airplane, there are other people there too. So, as you walk into board, make sure that you put your bags where they belong, up above or down below, and then sit in your seat so the person behind you can keep going. And you see, once you take off in an airplane, there are other things you have to think of. Now, some people think I'm just gonna yell at the guy way across from me and start talking to him. Now, it's okay, of course, if you know that person, to talk to him, and it's okay, of course, to talk to the person next to you. But always remember that there are other people on the plane. So you shouldn't be yelling super loud "Hey, did you remember to bring the marshmallows?" The guy's like, "I don't remember if I did or not. Should we check the bag?" And some guy in the back's like, "Happy birthday, Timothy." You're like, "What's going on? That guy's still wishing people happy birthday?" It's crazy how many birthdays there are sometimes. But anyways, so always remember that since there are people around you, you can talk at a normal volume, but you shouldn't yell. Another thing is some people like to kick the seat in front of them. That's not nice. Someone's trying to sit there, and you don't want to be kicking them, because then they're like, and that's not any fun for them. Plus, sometimes it kind of hurts them, and then their hair can get messed up. Now, the best part of the flight is when the people come out with the snacks. Unless they're like those little crackers that don't have any flavor. Those aren't very good. And in that case, I'm always like, "Do you have any other crackers?" And you're like, "No." And I'm like, "Okay." But if they aren't the crackers, it's awesome. But the best part is the drinks. I always like to get a little bit of coffee in one glass, and then I like to ask for some Sprite with some cran apple juice. But those two, I like to get them separate, because if you get them separate, you can put them together, which is so wonderful. Oh, it's wonderful. But anyways, then suddenly it's time to land. Now, it's important when you're on a plane, a couple things. First of all, when you land, just stay seated until they tell you to stand up. Everybody always stands up, and they're like, we gotta get out of here, let's go. And it's like, but the door's still closed and we can't go anywhere. So stay seated and stay relaxed. Also, if you have to call somebody to tell them that you get there, don't turn your phone on speaker. I had that happen once, and someone was clearly in the bathtub on the other line, and they were like, splash, splash, I was taking a bath. Oh, the bath Saturday night. I was like, why does this guy have his phone on speaker? And then the person taking the bath heard me, and they were like, hey, the bath water feels wonderful, and all the bubbles are great. And I was like, uh-oh, they know who I am. They're like, we love you, Elroy. I was like, uh-oh, this is scary. Anyways, now always remember, the biggest thing about flying is that it's an adventure. It's always a lot of fun. Sometimes when you take off, your ears can get kind of plugged because of the pressure. Always remember you can yawn, or you can also chew some gum or just chew on something, and it should usually clear your ears out. Ears out. Not your ears. Anyways, now once you get off the plane, this is the fun part. You can get your bags, and then if you checked any baggage, you can go down to the baggage claim, and then you wait for your bags. It's like, oh, is it that one? No. Is it that one? No. And then you accidentally grab someone else's bag, and you're walking away, and you're like, oh, Roy, don't take my bag. And you're like, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, that's my bag. Then you get your bag, and then you're off on your adventure. Well, this has been a good episode of Life Skills with Elroy. I'll see you in the next episode, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later.